Well, the government just came out with a scathing report on credit repair companies. We talked about them in the past, and they've been investigated by the Federal Trade Commission for years and ripping off people. And now the Consumer Protection Agency has just come out with a big report. And this is an article, I'll put all these links in the description so you could follow up. This is an article in the Washington Post by a good reporter, Michelle Singletary, who writes about this stuff all the time and does very good work. And she's reporting on a report that the consumerfinance.gov has just come out with about how credit credit repair agencies are ruining your credit, not fixing it, and charging you hundreds or thousands of dollars. Yep. And it's best not to use these people if you want to fix your credit. It's just amazing. I mean, but you fall into, you go search Google, and these are the highest rated people when you Google on credit repair are the people who want to charge you all this money to fix your credit, when in fact they're making it worse. Yeah. And this is what the report comes out. And that's why the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, which is consumerfinance.gov, they just came out with this report, and just on January 5th. And it's amazing. They studied this for a year going on. The consumers had 700,000 complaints at this agency. And that's why it's important to complain at the consumerfinance.gov, because once they see a pattern, they investigate. You're not going to stop a company that's charging you money. What, are you going to sue them and it costs you thousands and thousands of dollars? You don't have that. But see, the consumer finance people, consumerfinance.gov, if they get enough complaints, they investigate, and they have the power to put these people out of business. Okay, so consumers submitted more than 700,000 complaints regarding Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion from January 2020 through September 2021, which represented 50% of all the complaints received by the agency. So this is a consumer reporting place. Half their complaints are about your credit people. So and how they're screwing you over, and what's happening. You can't change anything bad in there. Consumers submit more complaints about inaccurate information on their credit and consumer reports than about any other problem. Consumers most frequently assert that the inaccurate information belongs to someone else. The consumers often describe being victims of identity theft. Okay, all these people, and here's what's happening. Here's what the government found out. That in 2020, Equifax and TransUnion stopped providing substantiative responses to consumers' complaints if they suspected the involvement of a third party, such as a debt repair company. You hear that? In other words, if they suspect that a credit company was investigating them, they're not going to respond at all. So the people who are charging you money to fix your credit are causing you to get worse credit. You hear that now? So in 2020, the three credit people, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, stopped providing substantiative responses to consumer complaints if they suspected the involvement of a third-party debt repair company. The Consumer Finance Protection Bureau reports highlights trends included increased activity by certain credit repair companies, which can inflate complaint numbers and undermine the process of addressing legitimate requests. Consumer advocates protest that consumers have the right to a third-party company on their behalf, and the boilerplate response to the Consumer Finance Protection Board with little relief to consumers is unacceptable. Okay, the credit bureaus have considered consumers as their customers. Have never considered consumers. See, the credit bureaus don't consider you as a customer. Okay, they just have your information they sell to everybody else. Okay. Under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, credit bureaus and companies supplying credit information to them have to correct inaccurate and incomplete information in your files. After you file a dispute, the credit bureau usually has 30 days to investigate. Okay, so they're supposed to change it and investigate in 30 days. However, frustrated consumers often turn to credit repair companies, which can make matters much worse. People end up paying hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in desperate attempt to address a credit issue. The credit repair operations frequently bombard the bureaus with complaints. Sometimes there isn't a legitimate error. Okay, if you're using a credit repair, there's a good chance the bureaus aren't going to deal with your dispute at all. Hear that? If you're using a credit repair company, the people who can correct your your problem aren't going to deal with you at all. You hear that? Credit repair companies are the worst thing to use and try to fix your credit repair. You hear that? I mean, this is amazing, isn't it? People end up paying hundreds or thousands of dollars if you aren't going to deal with dispute at all, says this attorney from the Consumer Law Center, which has written several reports about the serious dysfunction and travesty that is the credit bureau dispute system. An easier dispute system would make it easier, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so this is what you have to do. Okay, get rid of your credit repair company. As far as I can see, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but this is the most sophisticated information. They studied 700,000 complaints. Okay, who the hell is doing that? Only the government can do that. Okay, so that's the report of 700,000 people who have complaints with credit repair companies. Okay, and their investigation showed that if you use a credit repair company, the credit bureaus aren't going to talk to you at all. Now, that sounds a little strange, doesn't it? But it sounds strange enough to get your ass out of there. That's what it means. Okay, now how do you, to find about your rights, is go to the consumerfinance.gov, file a complaint. Okay, they respond within 14 days. That's the best consumer service I've ever seen in America. Consumercomplaint.gov. Okay, I mean consumerfinance.gov/complaint. File your complaint about the credit bureau. Get a response so you know where you stand. Okay, you want to know about the area. The federal FTC are the people that oversees a lot of this information. So ftc.gov or consumer.ftc.gov, and you'll find out a lot of information about that. And then also they show you about the credit repair scams. I mean, this is people are supposed to, help you with credit repair are scamming you. Here's all the cases they have. Now look at dozens and dozens of cases of people credit repair scams. Maybe you've heard of these companies. Here's some of them. Montana Moneta Management Inc., Aetna Financial Services Group, America Debt Inc. They sound familiar. American Financial Service Benefits Center, GDP Network, SLAC, Boots My Score, LLC, GAFS Group, Manhattan Beach Venture, LLC, Student Advocates Team. Oh, yeah, we're for you. Student Advocacy, Elegant Solutions Inc., Impetus Enterprises, Jeremy Lee Marcus, IT Media. All these 2 charges for Florida-based companies are helping student debt relief scammers. FTC's checks to people who lost money. Here, see, the FTC is sending checks to people who lost money through student loan scams. FTC is sending $175,000 to people in these scams. Operator student loan debt relief scams banned from providing debt relief. Student debt relief scammer. Matron Freer agrees to settlement, FTC. See, I mean, all these people, just get out of Google, please don't. FTC sends more than 1 million refunds to victims of student loan debt scams. Get out of there. Anybody who's advertising they're going to fix something are scamming you. And you want something legit? Okay, here's where to go. Okay, go to HUD.gov, HUD.gov. Okay, and then look for counseling. Okay, and then you put their state by state. These are people who get grants to help fix your credit problems. Okay, so you could buy a house, get good credit, and everything. So now there's 700,000 people that got screwed, and the government and even the credit reporting agencies are solving less than 2% of the problem. That's it. They're not even, that's down from 25% last year. So now they're on, okay, in 2021, credit bureaus provided relief in less than 2% of consumer complaints, down from nearly 25% in 2019. They're getting better at this. They're getting better at screwing people. They figured out the system. They just ignore it. Now that's why we got the cops on the beat, and that's consumerfinance.gov. I mean, who the hell is going to stop these people? You? Me? No, we don't have those kind of resources, but the government does. And that's why if you don't complain, they won't do anything. So that's why you have to complain to these people, consumerfinance.gov. And so they know and know your rights too, because you're just getting ripped off. You know, you're giving people hundreds and thousands of dollars, and it's making your credit worse. Now that, now talk about something that's un-American. That fits my bill. So just be careful. And these people are here to help you. Consumerfinance.gov, put complaints. They answer in 14 days, so you get the status on what you should do legitimately. Go to HUD.gov, look for a local counselor, financial assistance counselor, and make an appointment and go over your case that way, okay? And get away from searching Google to find help. Man, all you're going to do is find a place to throw money down the toilet. We do that enough. We don't need help doing that.